The rain fell in sheets, drenching the streets of New York City as Ethan Carter hurried home from work. His coat was soaked, his hair plastered to his forehead, and his mood was as gray as the stormy sky above. It had been one of those days, long, exhausting, and utterly uneventful. At 32, Ethan had settled into a routine that was as predictable as it was monotonous. Work, home, sleep, repeat. He had long since given up on the idea of anything extraordinary happening in his life. But as he turned the corner onto his quiet street, something made him stop in his tracks. There, standing under the flickering glow of a street lamp, was a figure that sent a jolt of electricity through his veins. She was tall and slender, with skin that shimmered like starlight and hair that cascaded down her back in waves of liquid silver. Her eyes, a deep, otherworldly violet, locked onto his, and a smile played at the corners of her lips. "Did you miss me, human?" she asked, her voice a melodic blend of warmth and mischief. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. Kalara. 5 years ago, Ethan's life had been anything but ordinary. He had been working as a research assistant at a prestigious astrophysics lab when he first encountered Kalara. She was an alien, a member of the Luminari, a highly advanced species from a distant star system. The Luminari had made contact with Earth in secret, choosing to observe humanity from the shadows rather than reveal themselves to the world. Kalara had been part of a small delegation sent to study Earth's culture and technology, and Ethan had been assigned to assist her. From the moment they met, there had been an undeniable connection between them. Kalara was fascinated by humanity, and Ethan was captivated by her. They spent countless hours together, discussing everything from quantum physics to the meaning of love. Over time, their professional relationship blossomed into something deeper, something neither of them had expected. But their time together was cut short. The Luminari delegation was recalled to their homeworld, and Kalara was forced to leave without warning. Ethan had searched for answers, but the Luminari had vanished without a trace, leaving him with nothing but memories and a heart full of questions. Now, standing in the rain, Ethan felt as though he had stepped into a dream. Kalara was here, real and tangible, and the years that had separated them seemed to melt away. He took a step toward her, his heart pounding in his chest. "Where have you been?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Kalara's smile softened, and she reached out to brush a strand of wet hair from his face. "I'm sorry, Ethan. I wanted to come back sooner, but my people, they're not as open to interspecies relationships as I am. It took time to convince them to let me return." Ethan's mind raced with 1,000 questions, but before he could ask any of them, Kalara closed the distance between them and kissed him. It was a kiss that spoke of longing and regret, of years spent apart and the promise of a future together. Ethan's doubts and fears melted away, replaced by a warmth that spread through his entire being. Over the next few weeks, Ethan and Kalara rekindled their relationship, falling back into the easy rhythm they had shared years ago. Kalara told him about her life among the Luminari, about the challenges she had faced in convincing her people to let her return to Earth. She spoke of her love for him, a love that had endured across light years and the passage of time. But their happiness was not without its complications. The Luminari were a secretive species, and Kalara's presence on Earth was a closely guarded secret. They had to be careful, avoiding public places and keeping their relationship hidden from prying eyes. Ethan found it frustrating, but he understood the necessity. The last thing they needed was to attract the attention of governments or corporations that might seek to exploit Kalara's advanced technology. One evening, as they sat together in Ethan's apartment, Kalara turned to him with a serious expression. "There's something I need to tell you," she said. "My people have agreed to let me stay on Earth, but there's a condition." Ethan's heart sank. What kind of condition? Kalara took his hand in hers. Her violet eyes filled with emotion. They want me to establish a formal alliance between the Luminari and humanity. But it has to be done carefully, in a way that doesn't disrupt your world or reveal our presence too soon. I'll need your help, Ethan. You understand humanity better than anyone I know. Ethan was silent for a moment, processing her words. The idea of helping to broker an alliance between Earth and an advanced alien species was daunting, but he knew he couldn't refuse. Not when it meant keeping Kalara in his life. I'll do whatever it takes, he said finally. But we'll need to be smart about this. There are a lot of people who would try to exploit your technology or use your presence for their own gain. Kalara nodded. No. That's why I came to you. Together, I believe we can make this work. Over the next few months, Ethan and Kalara worked tirelessly to lay the groundwork for the alliance. They reached out to trusted scientists, diplomats, and leaders, carefully vetting each individual to ensure they could be trusted. It was a slow and painstaking process, but they made progress. The Luminari, impressed by their efforts, began to share small pieces of their technology, offering solutions to some of Earth's most pressing problems. But as their work continued, Ethan couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Strange incidents began to occur. Unexplained power outages, mysterious figures lurking near their apartment, and encrypted messages that hinted at a larger conspiracy. Ethan's unease grew, and he voiced his concerns to Kalara. We need to be careful, he told her one night. There are people out there who would do anything to get their hands on your technology. We can't let them jeopardize everything we've worked for. Kalara nodded, her expression grim. No. But we can't let fear stop us. The alliance is too important. For both our worlds. Their fears were realized one fateful evening when their apartment was raided by a shadowy organization intent on capturing Kalara. The attackers were well armed and highly trained, but Ethan and Kalara fought back with everything they had. Using a combination of human ingenuity and Luminari technology, they managed to escape, but not without cost. Ethan was injured in the fight, and Kalara's presence on Earth was no longer a secret. As they fled to a safe house, Ethan turned to Kalara, his voice filled with determination. We can't let them win. We've come too far to give up now. Kalara's eyes glowed with a fierce light. We won't. Together, we'll expose the truth and ensure that the alliance moves forward. In the weeks that followed, Ethan and Kalara went public with their story, revealing the existence of the Luminari and their efforts to establish an alliance. The world was stunned, but the revelation also galvanized support for their cause. Governments and organizations that had once sought to exploit Kalara's technology now rallied behind them, recognizing the potential for a brighter future. The alliance was formally established in a historic ceremony, with Ethan and Kalara at its center. As they stood together, hand in hand, Ethan felt a sense of pride and hope that he had never known before.